Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 30 of my 6-player free-for-all Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against 5 Emperor AI that are each on their own separate team, and I'm playing as the Orc Warlord, Crognash the Brutal. In our last episode, we encountered one of the cities of our final remaining opponent, that being Firic of Clan Eldur, who is a Frostling Theocrat. And you can see here we've actually made contact with Dustara, which is just a city. It's not the throne city necessarily here, but it is one of his cities. And you can see here it's a Frostling city. And it's actually reasonably well defended, although the strongest units that are guarding it currently are these Evangelists and an Exalted. So nothing too extreme, but it does have a decent chunk of units there guarding it. And I believe we also encountered one of his cities underground. And you can see that right here. Again, not his throne, just a standard Frostling city. And this one is guarded by a Bone Dragon along with some Shrines of Smiting and Evangelist and a few other units here. So a pretty decent contingent here guarding it. And we have Hininia right on the gates here, kind of ready to maybe build up a little bit of a force and go in for the kill on this city. So we're going to continue in this episode trying to push to really put the hurt on Firic and maybe even try and eliminate him if we can, although we'll have to see. That might be a little ambitious. It's going to really depend on if we can find his throne city and just how well defended it is, of course. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Now, before I dive into the episode, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the last episode. The first of those comes from Casper Eklund. Casper just kind of had a couple of quick little points here, but in the last episode, I attempted to gain control of a druid hero who was part of an event that summoned penguins all over the map. And if I remember correctly, the druid hero actually took the city of Moldan here from me, and I was able to bring Trugruck's stack, Trugruck being my Orc Theocrat. I was able to bring his stack in, and we actually tried to gain control of the hero using Convert, and unfortunately we weren't successful. However, Casper was just pointing out that he was actually quite surprised that the hero didn't have mind control immunity, and I was also quite surprised. It was interesting to note that he did have immune to Ghoul Curse, so that would mitigate the ability for like a Necromancer to try and gain control of the hero in that way. But he also had extremely high resistance, meaning that it was very hard to gain control of him no matter which way you're going to kind of try and do it. But that is a good observation there from Casper, that not all high-level heroes are going to have mind control immunity. I guess it would also sort of depend on the type of hero. For example, like a Warlord hero, for example, might have a greater chance of having mind control immunity because of something like Blood Brothers. And same goes for maybe a Theocrat with Strong Will or something like that. So anyway, just an interesting observation and a good thing to keep in mind. When you see a high-level hero from those events, don't just automatically assume the hero has mind control immunity, because they may not. Casper also pointed out just something else quick, which is, and I'll just jump to the Shadow Realm there. I did a battle in the last episode, and I believe, yes, it was right here. It was for this Heart of the Shadows, and I used this stack to do it, and I did it in auto combat, and I believe that ended up resulting in me losing one of the units. And Casper pointed out that, you know, I could have done that battle manually. That might have been able to save me the unit. And there were some high-level units guarding that there. I think there were at least 1 or 2 tier 4 units, if I remember correctly. So, again, I was trying to kind of balance the flow of the episode with trying to accomplish something. So, just a point there from Casper that manual might have saved that unit. And I do agree. The next set of comments comes from Ahmed Sultan. Now, Ahmed had a couple of things to point out here. If we go back to that instance where I was talking about trying to get control of this druid using our Convert ability from Trugruck, Ahmed points out that I actually missed out on a couple of opportunities where I could have improved my odds of gaining control of the hero. So in that battle, I believe I used... Let's just jump to my spells here. I believe that I used Degenerate. And what this does, it inflicts the target with a magical disease that weakens the creature at the fundamental level. The unit gains 60% weakness to all damage types for 3 turns. And I used this basically the damage type I was interested in was spirit damage, because the convert ability is a spirit check. So this made it a lot easier for me to try to gain control of him successfully. Now, what Ahmed points out is that I could have also used Black Lightning. The Lightning has a chance to inflict Spirit Breaking and deals 5 shock and 5 spirit damage, and I believe Spirit Breaking would dramatically lower the spirit resistance. So again, great point from Ahmed. He also mentioned that in my stack here, I have a Goblin Big Beetle, and if we look here, I believe the Big Beetle had... Yes, here we go. It has Disgusting Stench. And so I could have used Disgusting Stench as a way to lower resistance by 1. All I had to do was put the Big Beetle next to the unit and to the hero, and that would have, again, further improved my odds. So a bit of a missed opportunity there, but again, I'm glad Ahmed pointed that out, because those were things that I could have done on top of Degenerate to improve my odds of conversion. Ahmed also wanted me to double check and see if my opponent has his endgame spell up, and it looks like he doesn't. So what I see here, he has Beacon of Faith on a city, and then he has Prayer for the Hurt, and that's really all he has active currently, and you can see the rest are all of my spells that are active. So thankfully, our Theocrat opponent does not have his endgame spell up yet, which is great. And then finally, Ahmed points out that I should start using Death March more frequently. And again, just to refresh everybody's memory here, Death March, all units in target-friendly army gain additional movement equal to their maximum movement points until end of turn. All affected units lose 50% of their current health. The movement capabilities of the units in combat are not affected, and it doesn't affect machine or undead units. So this is something that I could be using to much greater effect in order to bring units that are kind of a little ways out in closer to the front lines of battle, I should say. So for example, I could actually cast this on Urkan and try to really get him into the battle more quickly. I was bringing him in to help reinforce Hininia, and you can see just how far away he is. So he's still actually a number of turns away. So perhaps we even do that right now. Let's see. So there we go. Now we've got a lot of extra movement. You know what? We could even grab the haste berries, but I don't think that would actually help us, because we're over our limit, so I don't know if the haste berries would actually be of benefit. So we're just gonna keep on rolling here and see if we can basically get down to assist Hininia much more quickly. So we're gonna head down this way. Now obviously we took some damage there. Thankfully, Urkan does have a nourishing meal at the very least, so we will be able to at least heal some of that damage. And then we could also, you know what, something else we could do here. We could go in and win this battle, hopefully. We have to be kind of careful as we've taken some damage, so maybe we hold off. I don't know if I want to risk that. The point being that I could use a lot of my units are orcs here. Well, actually, not that many of them are now that I look. We've got a Manticore Rider and a Priest along with Urkan. The point being we could use our Victory Rush to heal up. In any case, I do really like that suggestion there from Ahmed to use Death March more frequently, as I want to get my units into the fight more rapidly. So great suggestion there. And then finally, I want to give a shout out to Civ 5 Addict. Civ 5 Addict pointed out, and this has been mentioned I think before, but that I should probably, or it might be better, I guess I should say, to summon my fire elementals rather than continuing to summon bone dragons. And the reason for this is because I'm up against a Theocrat. So the Theocrat is going to have ample spirit damage and fire damage. And if we look at our bone dragon, as it is an undead unit, we have 40% spirit weakness and 20% fire weakness. Neither of those are going to be, you know, very helpful for us when we're up against fire and spirit damage. And in addition, we also have to remember that the blight damage that's done by some of these attacks here, so for example, our melee strike or our gas breath, is not going to be effective against the Shrines of Smiting as they are machine units. So again, just things to keep in mind there. We need to be cognizant of that. So great point there from Civ 5 Addict. Big thank you to everybody who left comments there, as again, those are extremely helpful. So let's dive in here, as we've got a lot to do, and I would like to really continue putting the pressure on Firic here. Well, since we're already have our camera centered on it, let's see. We can move this stack in, and we could either go for this heart structure, or we could deal with these roaming units. And perhaps we deal with the roaming units first. Again, if I lose the Bone Dragon, I'm not too upset at this point. And then we'll jump in here. And this is another situation where I could do it manually. I'm going to do it in auto combat, however. And we actually didn't lose anybody, thankfully. So there's another structure we've cleared out. And now we can actually proceed up this way and try and reclaim that Tigran city that we lost a few turns ago. Just a few more units here to kind of continue moving. Might as well grab the extra hasteberry boost there. And now the question is, what would be the best way to get into the fight here? And I think it's going to be just to continue along the road. So we'll do that. In terms of casting spells, we don't really have any casting points left unless we reclaim some somehow, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. We're going to ignore this join offer as we've been doing, since, again, I don't think we're going to have time to really develop the Naga dwelling. Speaking of developing dwellings, however, we did start improving our Archon Revenant dwelling underground, so might be worth doing the... Yeah, I think we'll do the Obelisk of Undeath, as that's going to allow us to then get to the Barrow. It's not going to be nice for our little fairy here who's guarding the dwelling, as I believe that's going to curse the fairy, but that's okay. I don't suspect we're really going to need to worry too much about that. Just double checking underground. I think we had pretty much moved everybody. Yeah, it looks like we kind of have. Let's jump to the Shadow Realm and see what we've got left. And I think we had moved the majority of our units here in the last episode. Yeah, we've kind of done a lot of the large movement here. We did have another Phalanx coming in, perhaps to join one of our stacks. So I think we'll send the Phalanx up to maybe join this party over here. And you know what? Let's use this to just jump around to our units here and double check movement. Okay, so this little guy can move. Maybe we'll just add him in over here. Have another unit for that little stack. Probably a good option. Okay, let's just keep jumping around real quick. We probably don't need both units guarding this city, so maybe we'll send the Razor Bow off to, you know, we'll just send him on a big hike here. Whether he ends up making it there or not, who knows, but I don't think we really need him guarding the city. Now down here, I think I'm going to try and sort of build a little army to go a bit further north. And the reason I'm going to do that is because there is a spawning structure here. You can see it, a necromantic circle. It would be great to get rid of that. We could also maybe try and clear out the ancient ruins just to improve this city slightly. The benefit of creating this goblin rabble is that it evolves when it's produced, because it's already at gold medal, and that'll give me kind of a random goblin unit, so maybe I'll get lucky and get a tier 2 unit. Let's do some of our production, I guess, while we're kind of in the area. Now, Carbonok, we're continuing to just pump out Phalanx units here, so again, we're just going to keep moving everybody over. Actually, yeah, so this is something that I don't think I finished up doing, is kind of just moving everybody. So, let's see. This Phalanx has already moved. This Manticore Rider needs to keep on moving, so we'll send him in. This one up here has already done their thing. And I suspect we could maybe head over there. That would be a good spot there. Okay, back to Carbonok. So we can continue just making Phalanx. Again, having Pillar of the Stylites there is just going to be really, really nice. We've been kind of enjoying that with every Phalanx unit produced. Basically just obtaining all that benefit. Projectile resistance and that extra damage. Back to our throne. We're going to continue with that Manticore Rider. In Hrim now, we've got another one ready to go. So we're literally just going to keep spamming them in here. Kind of a never-ending tide of Manticore Riders. Basically just attempting to more or less overwhelm our opponent with powerful tier 4 units. And same story here. We're just going to keep on making them in Toldran because we can make them in a single turn. All right, now, Bittercress might be worth developing a little further as it is kind of on the front lines here. So, might be worth improving our ability to actually produce some units. Maybe we do a Warlord's Command there. Just in case we want any extra sort of backup. We could do a Magic Academy to improve our support units. However, I don't think we're really going to be making support units in this particular city. So perhaps we... Just looking at our options here. You know, we could do a Gladiator Pit in 2 turns and then start making War Breeds or something like that. That might be a good choice. Let's do that. Over to Moldan. Again, we've recovered the city, which is great for us. In terms of what to do with it, I think maybe we'll do an observatory just to try to increase the domain, as that's going to bring in the Lost Library and potentially also get us closer to this Heart of the Glades, although we may end up just using our little builder here. Yeah, maybe we just go like this. We can always demolish this if we need to, but... Alright. So this is our Tigran city now. Let's decide kind of what we want to do here. We can actually start making Sphinx, although this would be a city where we'd want to have... We would definitely want to produce our... Or, excuse me, cast Embrace Darkness just to have that lifesteal on them. I think we'll do an observatory real quick. And the reason for that is that'll bring in this traveling circus, this gold mine. So we'll just get a little bit, and actually this inn as well. And we should probably try and clear out some of those structures if we get the chance. You can see here we have a Sphinx that's been produced up in our former throne city of our Tigran sorcerer opponent, Lemur. Or Lemur, I guess I should say. Alright, our grub. Let's go back. Okay, thinking about this one here. We could improve the domain to get a little bit more happiness in the city, but I mean, we're already extremely happy, so not really a tremendous benefit. And we're quite low on gold, so I think we're just going to do merchandise kind of across the board from now on here. Really, the gold is kind of the determining factor there on that decision. Alright. And we're going to... This stack we're sending over to deal with this situation. We want to try and clear that out as well. Nundios going to benefit tremendously from, again, merchandise as it generates a lot of gold. Oh, and you know what? Rather than doing merchandise in Belfime here, let's start getting rid of some of these druid structures for a little bit extra gold. Okay, now, with Crognash, we can finally kind of start doing some work here. So, let's grab the hasteberries since we're right in front of them, and I think we'll basically just head over this way. You know what, we could even try raiding this lost city on our way through, depending on how powerful it is. This guy we're going to tell just to guard the city, I think. We've got a couple of Wraith King units here moving their way over towards the front lines, which is very, very good. So we'll do that, just continue moving them. And that's going to do it for our turn. So let's decide here if there's anything we want to cast. Perhaps an Embrace Darkness wouldn't be so bad if we were to cast that on, again, jump back up here. If we were to cast that right here, such that then we can produce Sphinx from this city that are also getting Embrace Darkness. The other option would be we summon ourselves a Fire Elemental. Maybe we do that because it's still going to be a couple turns till the observatory is complete. So let's do the Fire Elemental first, and then we can worry about Embrace Darkness after that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for our turn. So we're going to end it there. And we're going to try and kind of keep an eye on what's going on here with Firic cities. All right. I think what I'm probably going to do next turn, we've got a very powerful stack moving in. Might be worth just trying out the siege if we can bring in a couple more of our units. We could break off these Manticore Riders and join them up, because again, they can get across the water in a single shot with flying. Bone Dragon's obviously going to be able to join the party. So we'll have to see. It might be worth waiting another turn or two just to get kind of a few more of our units in the area. But, oh, and would you look at this? We're under assault from some Shadow Demon Lords. And we do have a wall in this city, so unfortunately, I really don't know where those Shadow Demon Lords are coming from, as I thought I had cleared out all the spawning structures, but I guess I must have missed one. So let's see if we can at least do some damage here to make reclaiming this city easier. I don't think we're going to be able to eliminate all of them, but we might be able to kill one of them off, which would be ideal. Here we go. So we're going to focus on one of the Shadow Demons. Oh, and unfortunately they've kind of put themselves in a position where we might actually have to focus on the one rather than... Yeah, there, that's... Again, because we've got that line of sight penalty. So... Maybe that wasn't the smartest thing, because now I don't know if we're going to be able to do enough damage to kill one of them. Okay. So, let's see. Now that wall's kind of in the way, unfortunately. However, we could move over here. That's going to kind of... There we go. We'll do a bit of damage there. And then maybe we'll just do a little bit more and let him kind of come at us here. I suspect he's going to go in for our mounted archer. Pretty devastating there. And again, if they hit that fearsome on us, then we're in big trouble. Let's see, what kind of damage do we do? Really not much. Thankfully, our monster hunters actually do a lot of damage. That's probably, again, because they have Monster Slayer and Shadow Demon Slayer, which is really quite nice. So maybe we just do... Let's see, if we move up a little bit... we still got that line of sight penalty. Suppose we could sprint ourselves around. Do some big damage here. Nice, and we got the kill. Excellent, okay. Now maybe what we do is we park ourselves like this, throw up that defense mode, and then do a little bit of damage here. Alright, we tank that damage actually incredibly well. Holy. You know, we actually might have a shot at this. I mean, it's a bit of a long shot at this point, but it's definitely not outside the realm of possibility for us to maybe be able to edge this battle out here. Alright, let's do some big damage here. Okay, very nice. Now the question, do I want to go in and try and maybe get the kill? Risking the fearsome, of course. So let's add up the damage here. So if we do minimum damage, we'd be doing 14 damage, which 14, because we're going to hit twice, hopefully, wouldn't be enough to get the kill. So I just don't know if it's worth trying to get in there to do that. What kind of net throw odds? Really not good. I think we'll just do this. Alright, now hopefully this unit can at least tank. Yeah, alright, so then there's going to be that. Again, we were able to resist. Now, can we get the kill? If we use sprint and go around behind to get the flanking hit. Excellent, excellent. Okay. I think we're actually going to be just fine here. Yeah, there we go. So we were actually able to successfully defend the city. So I'm actually quite glad I had a number of powerful units there guarding the city. Again, them being tier 2 and having that gold medal, I think, made a lot of difference there. So really, really fortunate. I'm not 100% sure where those units came from, however. And that is kind of a mystery to me. I'm just kind of scanning around the city here. I really thought I had cleared everything out. Might be from down in here, I guess. That could be. I didn't really see what direction they came from, so... Yeah, geez, that is quite the mystery. Well, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled, and maybe we can figure out where that came from. Again, not a massive priority, as we've kind of got bigger fish to fry, but still don't trust us enough to be our friends here. Same goes for this outpost. They're not particularly happy with us, and that's mainly because we are pure evil at this point. And that's that domain invasion there. Okay. So we now have Summon Fallen Angel, and I was thinking, oh, I'm going to take advantage of Summon Fallen Angel and start using them instead of the Bone Dragon. The only problem with that is that Fallen Angels have a massive spirit weakness. I think it might even be 100%, if I remember correctly, spirit weakness, which I don't really think I want units with that much spirit weakness, since I'm up against a... Just trying to decide where would be best to go. Let's go through this and at least see where we are. Okay, so that puts us in the underground. Anyway, I don't think I would want units with that much spirit weakness fighting against a Theocrat, who obviously has the capacity to do a pretty decent amount of spirit damage. Oops. So, okay, so that's where we come out. We're fairly close to where Haninia is. We could kind of bring in backup there. Also, we can grab Urkan here and just keep on trucking, which I think is what we're going to do. There we go, and we've made an alliance with this city. Yeah, so Urkan's, again, just moving on down. Going to continue to try and get in there to assist Haninia, provide some backup. Let's jump back to that Shadow Realm here. We can. There we go. So now the question is, what do I do with this stack? I could go up here and grab a hold of this Draconian city. Alternatively, I could head through there and try and back up Haninia. I think it's probably better to just try and grab another city, personally, so I'm going to do that. We do have Urkan on his way to reinforce Haninia, so I think it's going to be approximately the same amount of time for either stack to get there. So we'll just trust Urkan to get there. Okay, back to the surface here. Now, Dominus' stack could go and clear out this Ziggurat, perhaps. But I think I'm going to ignore it and kind of just move in for the kill here. Focus more on that. Alright, so here's another city. Let's get in closer. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he's got some... At least he's got a Shrine of Smiting here. I don't really see anything else. I don't notice the little crown over the city, so although I can't click on it, we zoom in. I'm not seeing the crown hovering above the city, so I don't think this is his throne. But yet another one of his cities that we've discovered, basically, at this point. I'm going to summon this Fire Elemental, and I'm going to do it here, because that's probably the closest I can get it to being in his domain. Now, let's see what kind of army we could mass here. If we send in just our flying units, we could have 2 Manticore Riders there. Bone Dragon, who unfortunately the Bone Dragon can't quite get in there in time. Yeah, that's actually quite the shame. I was hoping we could. Now, if we were to send these 2 in to grab the Haste Berries, we would have enough. So, I think we'll do that. You know what, can we even... Oh yeah, we can. That's fantastic. Okay. So there we go. What about... Can our Fire Elemental... Oh, and he can get in there too. This is awesome. Okay, so we're going to grab all these units. Grab the Haste Berries. Oh, and we're not quite able to get in there. Oh, it's just the Fire Elemental who can't. Okay. So we'll do this. And then we'll do... this. And then we'll move this stack in like that. And now we've got 2 very powerful stacks in there ready to attack. Meanwhile, the rest here we might want to just send kind of over this way to kind of move around, which I think is what we're going to do there. Yeah, there we go. Meanwhile, this little guy is just going to truck along the road there. And we've got the rest of our Manticore Riders kind of just moving in. These 2 up here are not quite able to make it to the party, but are going to be able to come in for backup. Alright, so we've got 3 Magical Riders, a Wraith King, Phalanx, and a Spearman. And over here we've got just 5 Magical Riders. I think we're going to be able to do this battle without too much issue. Saying probable victory, let's do it manually. This should be a fun one. I suspect we're going to get hit with some spells this battle. So some Touch by Faith, increasing the resistance of those units, of course. Not to mention their morale. Well, no spells came at us, so that's something. Alright, let's just kind of move on in here. Again, we want to get over that wall so we're not getting chilled anymore by this glacial totem. And then, once we're inside the walls, we can start wreaking havoc, basically. So all of our Magical Riders are just going to go that way. Meanwhile, our Wraith King can, I guess, head over this way. Why not? Throw a curse. Sure, why not? We can send our Magical Riders in to kind of head over that way as well. Here we go. Our Spearmen, I mean, I guess we could send them over there as a bit of a distraction or something. And our Phalanx can kind of charge in at the gate, I guess. That's going to do it. Yeah, so there's that Glacial Totem hitting us. Ooh, denounced me as a heretic. So I believe that means devout units will do more damage to me. Which I think would probably be the Exalteds here. Let's just double check that. Yeah, so they're devout. So they do a little bit more damage to me as a heretic. Not that that's really all that worrisome. Right, we're going to charge right in here. Throw on the War Cry, sure, why not? Do some big damage. Do the same thing up here. We're just going to go kind of full aggro here. Another War Cry. Fantastic. We got that critical. Very, very nice. And then we'll just get everybody inside the wall here. Best we can. Now on this side, we can get our Wraith Kings in there. Magical Riders can get in there as well. Okay, so we'll send this one in here. Wraith King might actually just kind of go like that. We just want to get everybody in there if possible. Unfortunately, one of them's not going to be able to make it to the party. There we go. So this one's going to have to wait outside the wall for one more turn. Spearman can kind of move up just a little bit there. I think that takes care of pretty much everyone. Okay. Ooh. Icy Nova kind of hitting us with that guard break effect as well. Yeah, so there, that Exalted's doing big damage. I think that's one of the units that was marked as a heretic. We were taking some beatings there a little bit. Let's bash that gate a little bit. Sure, why not? And now, let's see what we can kind of do here. So, jump over here and do some flanking. Get the kill quite easily, in fact. We can jump over like this. Get the kill there, no problem. Finish like that. Excellent. Move over and kill off the ward. Fantastic. And then just kind of move on over. Alright, so now let's try and deal with this situation. Minimize losses if at all possible. Light up these Exalted. There we go, they're dead. Alright, so now we got to get in there to assist. I think if we use War Cry, we can probably kill off the Ice Queen. Not quite. We were close, at least. Yeah, not quite going to be able to get the kill. I was hoping to... Oh, I guess we can just do this, then. Excellent. And then I think it would probably be best to attack the Evangelists. So let's do that. Excellent. Now, we should be in pretty good shape. I don't think we're going to lose anybody at this point. Yeah, everybody's kind of feeling pretty good, I think. So, do a little bit of damage. Sure, why not? And let's get some health back, maybe. A little bit of lifesteal. Sure, why not? And then we can just finish off that trebuchet. And just like that, we've managed to gain control of one of Firic's cities. Excellent. And I don't think our relationship with Frostlings is too bad, so might as well just start absorbing it, I guess. We're just going to kind of roll on through the area here, I think, is sort of the plan. And yeah, we're just going to step up there. All right, fantastic. So, big progress there. And we're going to hopefully try to sort of emulate some of that progress with Dominus here. The only danger with Dominus is he is kind of by himself. Just that single stack. So we may want to kind of, maybe even some of these other units, we might want to get them down to assist. Let's take a look in this Lost City. I.e., we've got not one, but two, but three Gluttons. And two Nega Matriarchs, as well as a Feathered Serpent. I mean, we can probably win this battle pretty easily. But I'm not going to risk it. I think we're just going to ignore that at this point and just kind of bring Crognash in to get him into the battle. Let's see what else we got going on. Okay, we did produce an enchanted armory, so that's actually really important, as I believe a lot of these units are armored. Let's see which ones are. So, not our mounted archers. Are our berserkers armored? Don't think so. Monster hunters I don't think are either. Well, they are. Yes, they are. Okay. Just double check the berserker here. Okay, not armored. So our monster hunters will get benefit. And at this point, we could do a gladiator pit and get to our phalanx who would gain benefit. So let's make another monster hunter. And then maybe we can do the gladiator pit, as those units are going to benefit tremendously. Group up here. Now, I think with this stack, just trying to decide here what would be the best approach. Well, we want to go over this way, that's for sure. So, question is, which direction do we want to go? See what looks like a shadow gate right there, so I think we're going to head for that. We'll move on up this way. I think we're just going to ignore these battles at this point. We're going to go for this shadow gate now. Let's jump to the surface and see if this is going to put us... Yes, okay, fantastic. So if we jump through here, we're going to be right kind of on the doorstep of Firic with that stack. And hopefully able to do some big damage. So that'll be great. Oh, we produced a Umbral Weaver Charioteer, quite nice. Send that one in to maybe help out with some of what's going on over here. Oh, and we have a city up this way that we want to go and try and grab a hold of. Yeah, there it is. Doesn't look like we're going to need much. It's just got a single defender, so that's all right. Suppose we could go check out what's through this shadow gate. Looks like that would bring us right up here. Yeah, not necessarily that beneficial. All right, back over on this side. So this is where we cleared out this Heart of the Shadows. Did want to move in and take that out if at all possible. We are kind of in rough shape, though. It might be worth waiting a little bit until we have some reinforcement. Let's just see what our odds are. It's staying closely matched, so yeah. Let's try and get this guy at least to help out. Maybe even send this phalanx up as well. So we'll wait one more turn to be able to do anything here. Now, this stack, I had encountered this city that had just a tremendous number of units guarding it. So, I was hoping they would actually come out and attack me. It looks like they're not going to do that. Which is a bit of a shame. So, let's get some reinforcement in there. We'll just make another one here. And then maybe we can try and attack the city. I was hoping they would just come out and attack me, but it looks like they weren't going to do that. Grab a little bit of mana. And then let's head back up this way. And with this stack, I'm not really sure exactly what I should be doing. I'm just kind of looking around, hoping that I encounter something there. We've already moved to Urkan. In terms of Haninia down here, so we've got 2 Shrines of Smiting. I with Divine Justicars, I mean, we'd have a shot at taking out the city, but I don't really want to risk it just because I have reinforcements kind of on the way, and I think we'll be okay. Now, what I could do is go in and try and maybe get control of one of these Eagle Riders and grab an item out of that. Might not be a bad idea. Maybe we do that. So let's try that out. Yeah, we'll do this one as I want to get one of those Eagle Riders, if possible. I don't think they have mind control immunity. I'll double check. I'll take a look here, but because if they do, then I'll at least try and grab one of these other miscellaneous units just for some cannon fodder. Yeah, okay, no mind control immunity, so we should be in good shape. We can actually even try for a curse, which would be ideal. Let's give it a shot. Ooh, and we got lucky. Really didn't have the greatest odds of that working, so. Okay. Now, what's the range there? We want to keep Haninia kind of back a little bit, just keep her safe. So let's actually throw a heal on our mounted archer, who's not in the greatest of condition at the moment. Same with this phalanx. Maybe keep this phalanx kind of back here. Let them come at us. We're going to take some damage for sure, but as long as Haninia doesn't go down, we should be fine. Okay, so thankfully this one actually came right up to me. 60% odds. Let's try it. Very nice. Okay, that's going to help out. Another tier 3 unit that's able to get over the walls. Fantastic. Throw on that war cry and move right in. Steal a little bit of life back. Sure, why not? Get the kill there. Realize I probably should have stepped off in case they got lucky, but that's fine. Excellent. And now we've just got 2 little pesky units left to kind of deal with. Let them come to us, I guess. Also an opportunity here to do some healing. So we can heal our phalanx there. Very good. Light up this farmer. Just obliterated. And you know what? The Eagle Rider can move in and do a wing beat. Very nice. And then our phalanx can get some health back. Awesome. So we got ourselves another unit, which will help out when we try to siege the city. A gemstone with urban concealment and mind control immunity. We're going to sell that off. A little extra gold doesn't hurt. Alright, so we'll put Haninia there, and we'll send our Blight Doctor over to join our new Eagle Rider. So, building a little army. Getting ready for that siege. Again, Urkan's going to be, let's see how long till he's in siege range. 3 turns. Might be able to hit, well, I don't necessarily want to do another Death March, as that's going to put him in rough shape in terms of health, so maybe hold off on that. Let's jump back to the surface. Okay. I guess we can pick our research. We've got quite a bit left. Let's do... let's just do Bloodbath, I guess. Leaving nothing... bestows +5 strength on all friendly units. Sure, why not? Okay, so let's kind of just think about our production here. Again, we did do a... Oh, and we got a Blight Doctor out of it. That's good. I was going to say we made a rabble. Let's make one more. Then we'll have a little army we can send off. Hawk. We're just going to do merchandise there. Our little Tigran underground outpost. We might as well start developing it. We're not really probably going to get to actually do anything with it necessarily, but... There is something down here. Let's start moving on down there, at least with our units. And we can start working on... make a Storm Priest there, just to guard the city, or add to that stack. As for up here, yeah, we've already moved everybody. In Tree Band here... This is the city that we've now absorbed in. What kind of structures do we have? We do have some dreadnought stuff we could sell off if we want to just do merchandise. Umbral Weaver Charioteer we can make. Alternatively, we can also do a Celestial Tower, which will increase the domain range by 1. Just looking at the domain of this city. We could get this tomb, although it's not explored. So that's not really going to be of tremendous benefit, so I think we'll just make a Charioteer. We don't have Embrace Darkness on that city, important to remember. Also don't have it down here, so these units aren't going to have lifesteal. Now, this little city, let's just work on growth. We'll do a storehouse. Over to Krim now. And again, Manticore Riders galore is going to be the plan here. Just keep on producing them. So, again, we're just sending everybody over. Very nice. Carbon Knock. We're going to keep doing the Phalanx. Over to Toldrans. More Manticore Riders. You know what? We could even just do this on infinite loop. And Carbon Knock, I suppose we could do Phalanx on infinite loop as well. Might as well. We don't have quite enough to actually produce this Manticore Rider, though, so... And the rest of our cities, I think we're just going to do merchandise here. We might as well sell off some more structures in Belfime. Over to Lemure, we could do a Sphinx. We actually do have enough gold to do that. We have another one here, so we'll just keep sending these down. Again, it would be great to actually have these to back up Dominus, as I mentioned, he is kind of on his own. So we'll just get them moving down to assist. Could even send one of these bombards down to assist as well. Okay, now Nundioth. Merchandise again. This little army we can actually send over. And let's see, do we have enough? Oh yeah, we can take this out. We'll auto-combat. Very nice. Now we do have an underground path here. Let's see. Yeah, we haven't explored in there at all, so could be worth just going and checking that out, seeing if we can drum up some extra gold or something like that underground. Alternatively, we turn around and add maybe some more units and try and deal with this dungeon, but I think that's going to be kind of a tall order, so I'll have to think about what to do next. This Shadow Demon can just keep on moving. Meanwhile, this stack can head on up and reclaim the city. Oh, we got an achievement kittens everywhere. It's kind of cool. Let's see here. Now, this stack, I think, again, I'm going to try and just reinforce Dominus down there. Okay, so we've reclaimed our little Tigran city. So I think what I'll do here, just so that that doesn't happen again, hopefully I will make a Shredder real quick. Don't have enough gold this turn, but we'll do it next turn. Now True Gruck can maybe just keep on moving. We do want to get, you know what, we can head over and deal with this quest, perhaps, while we're on our way over. Well, you know what, we can do this battle quick as well. And I'm going to do this one in auto-combat. Suppose I could have done it manually and try and... I think we're just going to sell these off. I could have done it manually to try to get control of one of those Node Serpents, but using Convert. And now we actually have enough gold to do a few things, so let's... Yeah, let's redo the Shredder. And then now I think we might have enough to do that Manticore Rider. Let's see. 202 gold. Yes, we do. It's going to leave us with basically nothing, but yes. Right, and Hininia can just hang out. So this rider can just keep on moving. We're just going to send him kind of over that way. Same with this guy. Our builder now has built this fort as well. Think about kind of where to send him next, I guess. Just trying to think where would sort of be the most beneficial for him. He actually did a really good job, and now we've got all this extra casting points from these different heart structures. I guess we'll send him over this way. This guy's just going to keep on moving. And then back to our Wraith Kings here. They can just keep on doing their thing. That's going to do it for our turn. So, let's see. With the rest of our casting points, again, we do have a Death March, so maybe let's find a unit that we could cast that on. We could use it on Crognash's stack, actually. So let's do that. Crognash does have some healing capability, so let's get ourselves kind of into the fight here a little bit more. Yeah, we'll just head down like this. So Crognash has healing, so that's going to allow him to build up his stack a little bit more. Okay, now maybe we do an Embrace Darkness for next turn, and we can throw that on, probably on here on Protorax, as we're going to then have the ability to produce our Tigran Sphinx. So we'll end the turn there. Yeah, we're really making progress against Firic. I'm sure he's not feeling so good right about now. Okay, so he's moving in some units. We're going to have to watch out. We might have to pull Dominus back. I don't necessarily want him out there by himself. Was a bit of a risk putting him right there all alone. And again, we do have some units coming to reinforce Dominus, but they are a few turns away, so... Just to remind everybody, he actually doesn't have the most powerful army. They're very leveled up, but he doesn't have any tier 4 units in here, actually. Okay, so that's going to do it for Firic's turn. Oh, and here we go. This is what I was kind of hoping for, that we'd come under attack there. That's going to make this a little easier to siege. So Firic has actually surrendered to us, but I'm going to hold myself to the standard that I have been doing the whole game, which is I am not accepting any surrenders. So we're going to decline that. And we're going to just keep on moving here. So now the question with Dominus is, do I want to get real aggressive and press in there? I don't really think so. Don't think that's necessarily what I want to do. So move up like this. And with this stack, you know what, we could head down. We could head over this way. Because we've got another city of his here. So it'd be good to figure out which one's the throne. Little Frostling city here. Okay, some undead spawning there. We don't want to deal with that. Okay, we do have Embrace Darkness ready to go. So let's throw that on right here. There we go. Just keep on moving to reinforce Dominus's position. Go. And I think we had one more. Oh, well, we produced another Sphinx, which we can send down as well. There's the other one. Fantastic. Okay, now a couple of our heroes leveled up here, it looks like. We did have an item arrive for Urkan, so that's a straight upgrade for his torso gear. Just giving him a little extra resistance. Okay, that's good. Now, we had level ups here. So, Hininia leveled up. Could give her some more casting points. Might be nice to actually give her, like, a half-decent spell, because I don't think she really has a ton for good spells. So, maybe we give her Blessing of Health. That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, now the only problem with waiting is to siege this city is that, of course, they're going to have time to build up additional units. So that's kind of the trade-off there. Grab this, and then we will keep on trucking here down the road. Okay, so now how close are we? I think we're probably 2 turns away. Yeah, 2 turns out. Then we can siege that, hopefully without too much issue. We're using this little guy as basically just a scout. Oh, so it's actually kind of good I didn't send my stack through here, as this is a dead end. Although I suppose the Manticore Riders could have flown over the lava right here and come up to join that way. I'm talking about the group I have in the Shadow Realm here, if we go back. This group. So we would have been able to send the Manticore Riders, but not the Phalanx. Do that one in auto combat. Grab a hold of the city. We'll absorb it. Might as well grab the population boost here, too. Very nice. And I suppose we can just go around clearing these extra structures here for the inevitable expansion of the city. Again, just auto combat through to get these in our control. A little extra gold, also very nice. All right, fantastic. Yeah, Dominus also leveled up. And, you know, I've been hesitant to give my units Bomb Squad, which basically just means they gain Explosive Death. I just don't think that would really be of any tremendous benefit for me. Yeah, this one's kind of interesting. Destabilized Manicore. Summons a destabilized Manicore above the battlefield. The Manicore will detonate within 2 turns, dealing 60 fire damage to all units on the battlefield. It's pretty nasty spell in a way. You know what? Let's just beef him up for the coming battle that's sure to happen. We'll increase his melee strength and his range strength. Sure, why not? Alright, now the question is, do I want to tiptoe my way in and see what I can see? It's kind of a risk. I don't know if I want to take that risk. Probably not really worth it, to be completely honest. Now, our Fire Elemental here, on the other hand, can join up with our Bone Dragon. Crognash can just kind of keep on moving in. Additional Manticore Riders here. We're just kind of sending everybody in. Kind of wholesale here. We're just going. And we've got a join offer here. We're going to project that. We do have an alliance proposal. Again, we're not enough trust for either of these guys to to actually become our part of our empire. Now, these ones want to join us. The outpost of Nevela. Sure, why not? That does mean, though, that we're going to have to make a unit just to guard the city. And we actually can... Now, we only have one thing left to research, and that's Conqueror's Feast, so might as well start working on it. Okay, nothing else too crazy going on. Let's just do our production now. We have this little army, and they all became Blight Doctors, which is kind of interesting. Fortunately, that's going to actually not be the greatest against undead, but we're going to move in and see if we can maybe take out that undead spawner there. And we'll make one more rabble. Alright, over to Pock. I think we're just going to do merchandise kind of for the rest of the game in that city. You know what? In here, let's do a barrow. Again, I don't think the game's going to be going a whole ton longer, so we might as well just keep making monster hunters there. Kind of across the board here, we'll just do our we're mostly going to just do kind of merchandise. Bittercress. Now, Bittercress is one that's kind of on the front line, so this one might actually be worth maybe producing a unit or two. Let's do a mounted archer or something. Sure, why not? Lilac. Kind of on the front line, but not quite as much. Moldan. Now, Brondheim here. Let's do a Prospector just to have a unit sitting on the city. And now our little Tigran... I shouldn't say little, it's actually quite a large Tigran city. We look at our Sphinx, I don't think they are armored. No, they are not, because the reason I say that is I could have also produced an enchanted armory here to benefit armored units, but I'm not going to really need that to boost up my Tigran Sphinx, so we're just going to start working on those. And again, pretty much just merchandise across the board. I think in a good chunk of these cities we can make that effectively a permanent choice at this point. Not necessarily every city, but quite a few of them. I think that's probably the right call. You know what? Before I do the rest of this production, I should probably finish moving everybody in case I gain some extra gold in the meantime. So let's jump around our units real quick here. All right, this stack I had moving to see what was going on with this particular city. Alright, probable victory. We can do that one in auto combat as well. Fortunately, we lost the archer, but kept everybody else. Sell that for some gold. So there we go. There we got some extra gold, which is good. Okay, and if this city grows one more time, we'll actually get that Heart of the Shadows, so hence the storehouse production. Alright, over to Nundioth here. Yeah, we're just going to do merchandise. We're going to make that permanent, I think. And then, yeah, Lemure, we're going to do the Sphinx, and we're going to make that permanent as well. Or infinite, I should say. This little guy's just going to keep on moving. Meanwhile, this army... let's go check underground. Sure, why not? This big boy, Shadow Demon Lord, we want to get him down into the fight if possible. Dominus, I'm still kind of waiting to decide what to do with. And this group here, I suppose I could just kind of add to the Shadow Demon. And now we've got a real powerful stack. Okay, and we're just jumping around to make sure that kind of moved everybody. A lot of these Manticore Riders were still just kind of en masse sending them in. Same goes for these little Phalanx that are moving in as well. Okay. Well, alright, let's decide what to do with Dominus here. Again, we've got this fairly powerful stack coming in. Let's take a few steps down the road and at least see what we're looking at. Alright, so this is, as I said, this isn't the Throne City. We do have a hero. Frostling Theocrat. Not Firic himself, of course, but we have 3 Shrines of Smiting. Oh, and here is Firic himself. Okay, so we do want to bring force on this city. We aren't powerful enough with just Dominus as he is to be able to take that out. So, hang on now. There's a Shadow Gate here. Not really anywhere near anything of ours. So, might be worth kind of retreating back a little bit. So we'll bring Dominus back just a touch, because I don't want him getting killed off just yet. Or at all, I guess I should say. Now, True Gruck. we can actually grab this. Move on in here. Might as well do this battle while we're here. Grab that free level up, sure, why not? Make Trugruk even more of an absolute beast. You can see he's already extremely powerful. You know what, let's get him to 100 health, sure, why not? And we'll increase his melee strength in case he gets into any kind of tussles there. Yeah, and we'll just head down like this. This Wraith King can just keep on moving. Meanwhile, this stack can probably move in and try and attack the city. Let's see what our odds are. It's saying closely matched, and I think that's probably because of the wall. So we'll see if maybe they decide to attack me or not. Meanwhile, this group can move in and grab a hold of this city. And we will absorb that one as well. And we'll head out there. Continue just kind of trucking. Ooh, and look at this. We've actually found a way back to the surface. Oh, and that's this right here. Okay. We'll definitely go down that way. Yeah, I think we're going to just leave Haninia alone. And that little guy I don't think is actually going to be of all that much use, so we're going to bring him back. You can just guard the city for now. So can you. Just kind of finishing up the movement here. I think we're going to probably end this episode here right away. Oh, I was actually really kind of hoping to maybe finish off Firic, but again, that was probably a little ambitious, as we do need to still find his throne city. It does look like we have located Firic himself, however, which is great, as that's going to be great if we can kill him and then finish off his throne. So the builder, I really didn't kind of think too hard about where to send him, but I think we'll just keep moving him up this way. And across the water, all of our phalanx go. Oh, and you know, that actually reminds me, as I've been saying phalanx this whole episode, there was actually a comment from an episode or two ago regarding pronunciation. And I completely forgot about it, so that's something I need to actually pay attention to, because obviously if I'm saying a word incorrectly, I'm sure that's quite grating on the ears. So unfortunately, the individual who left the comment, the name escapes me. But I do appreciate that, as again, you know, part of the listening experience for you guys is hopefully that I'm not butchering all the words that I'm saying. So no, that was actually a great comment. And again, I've been continuing to butcher pronunciation this episode because again, it sort of slipped my mind. But that's something I'm going to try to keep in mind going forward and in future playthroughs. In any case, though, really good progress. And I mean, again, we've basically got Firic on the ropes at this point. He even tried to give up, and we're not going to let him. We're going to make him go out the hard way. So we're going to save this one right here. Calling this one episode 30. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.